I'm at 904 Crawford Street in Middletown, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. Mainly we're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The line is cast iron above ground. I expect it to be clay, at least when it exits the house, maybe directly under the floor, being that I believe the house was built in 1920. These would be normal materials for that age of home. So our access point here is a cast iron stack with a clean out on top of a Y here. Looks like this is really dry. The house has been empty for a while, so a little bit of rust just dropped down out of the stack, probably just from when I opened the line. So it's cast iron inside. It means it should, most likely it's cast iron until it exits the house and then it'll go into clay. Looks like some buildup here, just old rust and stuff built up on the bottom of the pipe. Like I said, I don't know how long the house has been empty, but it does look like it's pretty dry. So what I may do is run some water when I get all the way out to the main, because the cast iron does look like it's holding shape pretty well. I don't see any holes or anything in the line yet. Just a couple spots of some pretty heavy buildup here. Dried out material, and it seems to be like right along where there's a Y. There's a Y that comes into the right, and then there's to here. That could be due to a floor drain or something, or even a downspout of a line this age. But as soon as it exits the house, it does switch over to clay. Again, that's normal for the age of the house, like we mentioned earlier. The biggest problem we see out of clay a lot of times is some root intrusion, but hopefully we don't see that in this case. Maybe little tiny hair roots, but a lot of spider webs seem to be building up on the front of the camera, which is hard to see. And so we'll push out, and hopefully we'll just be able to get out into the main and be able to rinse the camera off, and then we'll be able to see better on the way back. We'll try to also run some water. See if that helps. But it's pretty normal to have an issue like this where it's hard to see on the way out, but once we rinse off, it should be. I don't know if I just made it out. There we go. Now we are out into the main. Got the camera rinsed off there, and so as we go back, we'll go a lot slower. We'll take a look at it. I think I'm going to go ahead and also pause the video here, and I'm going to go up and I'm going to turn the bathroom or kitchen sink on and just kind of watch the line function as we pull the camera back. Okay, we're waiting on the water to show up. It might take a minute because of the buildup in the line. I was hoping that we'd be able to maybe flush some of that out. There we go. And so we'll pull back and hopefully we don't find anything major as we pull back. Maybe be flushed out anyway just because of that buildup of rust. It may not even be stuff, it may be from old floor drains. I'm not sure if there were some old floor drains that were filled in down here. Looks like some spots of concrete repair that look like they'd be right around the area where there would be floor drains. So, but a lot of times the floor drains will wash debris and stuff into the line, as well as if the downspouts are connected into this. But I didn't see anything, I didn't have any obstruction to the cameras I pushed out, so I'm not expecting to see anything on the way back here. The only thing I would expect is, let's see here, I do have the water running, so you can see in front of us and know that there's not anything in that area. It's just a little bit of water. That camera lens is only about a ½ inch off the bottom of the pipe, so it doesn't take a lot of water to cover it. We've got just a tiny bit of old roots there, 47 feet. It's not even worth noting. See, some of the solids are starting to make their way down the pipe, which is what we're wanting. Since, like I said, the line is pretty dry, and probably due to lack of use is where all this stuff dried up. So now we're back in the cast iron. Actually looks really good structurally. Just may have to try to flush it out. You could probably do that with a like a blow bag or something, which is just like a little thing you stick at the end of a hose and run it down through here, just to kind of push some of the debris out. I mean, hopefully as we pull back, it does seem like since we got all that wet at those Ys, like right around in here, there's some, and I'll see if I can kind of push back and forth right in this area and break some of this stuff loose or push the buildup of that. It just looked like, you know, rust coming in. When we pushed out, it looked like a little buildup of just rust from where a connection came in. There's another one right around here, maybe. No. So we must have, with running that water, it actually helped clear those spots out. And so we're going to push back through there and take another look. But I think just from running this water, it pushed those dry spots out right here is probably the try to bounce back and forth here just to kind of see how my camera's starting to make a little. That's all we really want to do is just kind of break this up a little bit. This is with the water running. There's not enough water to even cover the lens, really. And so, pretty good shape. I didn't see anything of any major concern. A little bit of buildup there, about 14 feet on the bottom of the pipe. So, if if you are really worried about it, you can, like I said, hopefully just running some showers and stuff like that once somebody takes occupancy should flush all that stuff out. But if you wanted to, you can go ahead and run like a blow bag through it, which is just like a little bag that fills up and then pushes out. It's kind of like a trying to think of how to explain it here. It just basically it fills up and touches the outside of the pipe, builds up to a certain pressure, and then blows the water out at a little bit higher pressure than what just a normal flow rate is. And it fills up again and pushes it out, fills up again and pushes it out, and that gives you a little bit more flow and helps. It's not as heavy as a pressure washer or a jetter, but it is usually enough to clear just a little bit of buildup of debris like you have there, just from the lack of use for a while. But hopefully just running, it should be taken care of just by taking showers and doing laundry. Those large amounts of water will help flush that stuff out. But I didn't see any structural issues at all. The line looked good. You do have cast iron, which is the problem with cast iron is that you can't really tell how much life is left in it, because you can't tell how thin or thick the pipe walls are. And like in this case, I was just looking for the any visible holes or anything or structural issues, which we didn't find any. But I always like to recommend with cast iron that you never use wet wipes. They can cause backups because they can cause, if you notice how rough the inside of a cast iron pipe is because of the rust, things can catch a little more easy, and so having soft clogs is a pretty common thing with cast iron. As long as you only flush toilet paper and natural materials, it won't be a problem. But it's just a little more likely with things like wet wipes that you can cause soft clogs or just like minor backups due to that. But in this case, everything looked good. I didn't see any structural issues or anything. The only thing we saw was at 14 feet there was a little buildup of debris where that Y is, and that was just due to the lack of use. And so everything looked good. Didn't really find any issues. So that'll end the inspection at 904 Crawford Street in Middletown, Ohio.